Dr. Jagadish Chathurvedi. He is a multi-talented ENT surgeon and innovator based in India. He is the founder and director of HiiH Innovations Pvt Ltd and currently serves as a consultant ENT surgeon at Fortis Hospital in Banglore. With extensive training and experience, he specializes in minimally invasive sinus surgeries, including procedures like balloon sinuplasty. His career highlights include leadership in medical device innovations through the Stanford Biodesign program, where he helped develop multiple devices for gastrointestinal and ENT-related conditions. Dr. Chathurvedi's expertise extends beyond clinical practice. He has a strong background in teaching and training, particularly in the biodesign process. He has conducted workshops at prestigious institutions such as AIIMS and Stanford University, emphasizing medical device innovation tailored to unmet healthcare needs in India. Throughout his career, Dr. Chathurvedi has published numerous papers, authored books on innovation and medical device development, and holds several patents. His work in head and neck surgeries, rhinology and endoscopy procedures showcases his skill set in advanced ENT treatments and healthcare innovation. Additionally, he is certified in advanced cardiac life support, basic life support, and pediatric advanced life support.
Hi everyone. Hi, good afternoon. Post lunch. Nice sleep is coming. Quality sleep is coming or not quality sleep is coming? Quality sleep. Everything should be a good quality check. Dreams will also be of good quality then. First, let me address the elephant in the room. HiiH, they were saying. Why is this name so complex? It is purely a result of our ego, because when we wanted to form a company, we wanted to call it HiiH, H-I, and we announced it, HiiH. Then our social media team said, sir, HI domain is not available. HI.com, HI.in, HI.org, nothing is available. So we said, add one more I. Sir, HII also somebody is taken. Like add one more I till we get, till 6-7 I's, it is full. Then we like start adding H's and at HIIH we got it. And we thought, what was it, like how do we justify it? So we call it, we have a full form for it. It's called Healthcare Innovations in Indian Healthcare. So that way HIIH, because I worked with the government for 5 years and we learned how to make full forms and short forms. So good, you can get it with that. Yeah, this is a slight change. So all of you, any medical students over here? No? Doctors are there? There's one doctor over there. Okay. All right. See guys, I'm a doctor. I'm an ENT surgeon, and I think it's been 20 years since I've been trained. But what does a doctor want to do always, right? Like the reason why we become doctors is because we want to treat people, right? We want to make their health better. 20 years ago, I studied in a place called Tumkuru in Karnataka. Anyone from Karnataka here? By any chance? So it's a small town, near Banglore, about 70 kilometers away. And I studied there, and I loved studying a lot actually. I wanted to be a doctor. My father is a doctor, and some subjects I studied. I really liked it so much that some subjects I studied for many years. For the love of the subject. See, for doctors, basics have to be very strong. So we don't want to just immediately finish anatomy in 1 year and then, directly start seeing patients. Few years you have to study, imbibe the basics of it. But after so many years of studying, we doctors get to do something called internship. You know what internship is? Internship is that day where we get to see the patient for the first time. And for me, that was a big moment for me, because after so many years of studying, I started fantasizing that all this knowledge that I have gathered, I want it to be released onto a patient to improve their health. And as a doctor, you are anxious, you fantasize, right? What my first patient will be like. I used to think, is it going to be a male patient? Is it going to be a female patient, old patient? Will it be a child? What kind of patient? What disease will it be? Because I was fantasizing, I'm going to use all my clinical knowledge, take very detailed history, ask family history, personal history, breakup history, marriage history, everything. You know, get all the information out, then give the right amount of investigations, understand those investigations, counsel the patient, and then provide treatment with tender love and care, right? But when I went to my first day, I was posted in medicine, and I was taken in from the back door of the outpatient department with a very worried looking compounder who kept asking, have you eaten breakfast? Last 3 doctors fainted. Did you eat something and come? I'm like, yeah, I ate and came. What is there? If not, after the OPD, I'll eat. But they were like, you know, they took me from the back door and I was put in one room. Okay. You know, the OPD chamber is one small room. It had 2 doors like this on the back, 2 doors. And then this compounder made me sit there. He's like, sir, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Who's my first patient? You can send them in. He said, he smiled and he went. And then I saw those 2 doors were almost about to break. It was almost like something is holding them. And he said, sir, are you ready? And I said, yeah. He immediately unlatched one and ran away. And immediately came at least 50, 60 patients together. Sir, BP sir, sugar sir, BP sir, fever sir, sugar sir. I'm like, who came first? Who's my first patient? Who am I fantasizing about? Because, you know, at that point of time, suddenly history taking, everything went out for a toss. I was like, everything became defense mode. For everything, I'm letting paracetamol. If I don't know what to do, send for X-ray, get some time, right? Otherwise, I thought I will become a patient in the next 5 minutes. Because everybody is getting very, very restless. And that is what we realize, you know, when we are going from our academics to reality, things are very, very different. You can't spend 20, 30 minutes with the patient bestowing all your knowledge. I hardly got 5 to 10 seconds per patient. And in district hospitals, government hospitals, it is like that. You know, we, WHO says we are very good with doctor-patient ratio. I think the recent one said that, you know, we have enough doctors that are needed. But when you go to these rural areas, we don't have that one doctor for 2,000 patients, right? We have one doctor for 20, 30,000 patients. And all these patients want immediate care. Otherwise, you will become patient. And you will have nobody to treat you. That's why I always say one doctor should marry the other doctor only. So the one gets beaten up, the other can treat them. Otherwise, where do you go? Right? And this is the reality, right? So when, as a doctor, to get such less time with patients, can you do justice? Can you do quality in treatment? And plus, when you get into post-graduation, it becomes even more difficult, right? Post-graduation, they'll give you a lot of extra work and all of that. You know, thesis will be there, publications are there, OPD you have to see, surgery, and plus you get scolded for everything, right? I used to be sent to rural area to examine patients' throats for cancer screening. Okay, we used to go to a place called Banglore. And even today, this is, I'm telling 20 years ago, but even today, you know how we see somebody's throat? We ask the patient to come and we use one thin, long spoon-like structure. It's got a mirror on one side. Stainless steel mirror. That's all we use. Okay, we ask the patient to come. We ask them to say, ah, and we can say, dane dane mein hai kesar ka dam. Zuban kesari you can see immediately. And with that whiff, you have to pass this you know, mirror all the way to the back of the throat till you can hear sound like, okay. And there, with that gagging, with that, you know, fogging of the mirror, we are supposed to use one headlamp. Sometimes if you're lucky, you will have a headlamp you can put on your head. Otherwise, there is something called as bullseye lamp. It will be one lamp that will almost burn your shoulder. Like you will be seeing patients, fire will be coming from here, right? That bullseye lamp, you have to see that light has to reflect from that mirror. And then you will see the voice box in that tiny mirror. Even if you see, you'll be like, ah, I saw. You know, I could never see anything with that mirror. But I don't want to make the patient upset. So I will make sounds like, paracetamol. You know, because you can't make out anything. And your seniors, they try to rag the juniors, right? So I had a senior who used to keep, you know, picking on me. And he was seeing one patient's throat, okay? Then he came and said, Jagadish, tell me your findings. So I went, held that patient's tongue, put the mirror inside, tried to see with the reflection of light. I could not make out anything. But my friends told me, Jagadish, if your seniors ask you any question, just answer the safest answer. So I told, sir, this patient is normal. Because most of the time, you know, things will balance out. He's like, Jagadish, thank God you could make out something. I couldn't make out anything myself. And both of us, senior, junior doctor, traveled 70 kilometers away, putting mirrors inside people's throats. Both of us have no clue what is going on there. Because we can't see. And sometimes it is a very scary thing, because this patient is a farmer or some laborer who's left their daily wage. You know, they get 200, 300, 500 rupees per day. That guy has left that work to come and see you. And they are expecting you to find something and treat them. We are not even able to make out what is going on there. We are just, a mirror is fogging, we are wiping it, that's all. Because it is so difficult to see with such tools. Some people have the skills, most people do not have the skills. So one day, you know, I watched a movie called Swades had released during that time. You saw Swades movie? Anybody seen? No? Shah Rukh Khan is there in that. You've seen Swades movie? Makes you feel like you want to do something for your country. After all that Zuban Kesari you have smelled, no? And then you watch a Shah Rukh Khan movie, Swades, you also feel like, hey, kuch karenge. Kuch karna hai, right? So I did the most dangerous thing any student can do. Is I went in a very angry mood one day to my boss. You know how bosses are, right? Bosses are usually very angry, right? I had a very angry boss. And I forgot everything because I was so frustrated that we are not able to do the job I'm supposed to do because of the tools we had. I went into his chamber. I'm like, sir, what is this, sir? We are going all the way to the 70 kilometers away, Muglur. We are using these lens, mirror, all of that. We are not able to see anything. But look in our OPD. We have such a big TV screen, halogen light, this kind of, 3-chip camera, RGB color. By the time patient comes over here, you can see the cancer from outside. We need such kind of magnification in the villages, in rural areas. That is where they come with that early stage cancer, which is very, very small. Just one red dot, one white patch. We can't make out those kind of things with mirror. He was at the end of his OPD. He's just looking down like this. He's like, ah. And he looks at me and he asks a question. And this is an actual question that he asked me. He says, Jagadish, you are a barking dog or a biting dog? I'm like, out of syllabus question. But he's also my thesis guide. Now I'm realizing what I did. I said, I was thinking answer options. Okay, see, barking dog never good, no? So I said, sir, I am a biting dog. Then he's like, why are you barking? Why this is not here? Why that is not here? If you want to do something about it, you do something about it. Biting dog doesn't come and bark. Just wants to bite, it'll bite. You go bite. I'm like, bite? Like, yeah, go. You do whatever you want about it. Don't come to me at the end of my OPD and cry like this. This kind of system we cannot take over there. There is no power, no electricity and all of that. What you have, you either learn it or you do something about it. So I was like, like this attitude, huh? So I thought, okay, let me see what I can do about it. And I had an idea. See, we guys, generally Indians, when we get an idea, it is like falling in love. Idea, ho gaya, We don't do any research. We don't do, For marriage, you will do research. How much is salary? Where does a person work? No. But for ideation, there is no process. You will just think of something that is there in your mind. You see the problem, you want to solve it. I had an idea. At my time, smartphones were just coming in, okay? And we used to have these digital cameras like Sony and all of those, immediate digital cameras. I thought, I have endoscopes and I have digital camera. What if I marry the two together and just make one mechanical attachment? Connect the endoscope to the camera so that the camera will show the same image instead of this big screen TV, 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupee equipment. I have a 15,000 rupee camera. I can still do the same thing. And this is what the first prototype looked like. The simple, this is a casing we put and you can see some cello tape and all is also there. This is studio image. So this is what we show on shadi.com. This is real image. So, yeah, because you have to go to studio and make it look nice. Originally, in reality, it will be like this, full of, scars and scratches and all of that. But this was a prototype that I first made of a simple device which has a camera. And you can see this one coupler over here. I can attach any endoscope. This is a 0-degree endoscope. I can put a 30-degree endoscope, 70-degree endoscope, 90-degree endoscope. The back side of all endoscopes is standard. Like we have standards for everything. You have ISO standards, you have manufacturing standards. There are standards for every medical device. So medical devices you can't make, I want to make one S-shaped endoscope. You can't make it. Because there are certain guidelines you have to follow for any medical device. So we thought, okay, all attachments are going to be same size. They're going to be standard. So I made a device like this, and I went to my boss. I was like, see, biting dog. I have made a bite. And that time he's like, oh, you took me seriously. Yeah? I just simply told you. And he's like, but this looks interesting. What you have done is you have taken something which is not mobile and you have made it small and portable. And this can replace this kind of throat endoscopies. So he's like, do something to bring this to the actual doctors and patients. I was like, take this only. No, I will make 10 more. I'll give you one. We'll give here, there. He's like, no, that is not how products reach market. You have to form a company. Company, yeah. But I am a postgraduate student. He's like, no, you have to form a startup company, make a public entity, take this product, do fundraising, do product development, then take it to market. I'm like, oh, I have to find one more person to make company. Yeah, that's what company means. You at least 2 people have to be there. Otherwise it would be called being single, right? So I was like, oh, but I don't have any other partner. So I had a wife, so I went to her and I asked her, you want to form a company with me? She said, no. She was a psychiatrist. So I went to the next best option, her sister. She agreed. So she was an aeronautical engineer from IIT Chennai. She was also not getting any job. So she's like, okay, we'll form this company. I understand certain engineering and mechanics, and we'll try to bring this to the next level. And her husband was from IIM Calcutta. So he's like, I'll do the business things, which is make nice abbreviations and make simple things sound complicated so that people will give us money. Right? You know, so give nice short forms, you know, you feel like, oh, something, oh, short form. Entrepreneur. So we did this for some time, worst decision of our lives because this product didn't go anywhere. Nobody was willing to invest in me. I thought people will invest in a good invention. If you have a good idea, good product, it is working. I put my own money to bring it to this level, whatever salary we used to get, added all of that. We thought easily people will invest. Because most of the time people pitch with one PowerPoint presentation. We had an actual product. But people are not willing to invest. And that's when I realized that investors don't invest in the product alone. They also invest in the team. And the problem with the team is all of us are part-timers. None of us are 100% committed. I am finishing my course. The other guy is doing something else. My sister-in-law is doing something else. So investors do not want to put their money in someone who is not giving their 100%. And that made a very difficult challenge for us to get this product to the next level. And we had to eventually shelf it. I went to my boss and said, sir, look, I tried. As a postgraduate student, this is how much far I have reached. We have got a better image from a studio. Now at least it looks more professional. Product is still like this only. But he also felt bad. He's like, maybe he's stressing just a student out. So he said, okay, forget it. You don't worry much about it. And then one day he called me. He said, Jagadish, you know, if you and I don't know how to invent, we as doctors who understand the problems ourselves are struggling, then somebody must be knowing how to invent. No, how are these inventions coming from abroad? We are importing 80% of medical devices in our country. Somebody is making them. No, what are they following? Most of them are making are doctors only. Why we in India, doctors are not able to make? So he's like, you learn and come. I'm like, learn and come from where? He told me about this program called Stanford India Biodesign. I don't know if you've heard of this program. It's a very interesting program run by the government of India. Took actual very good initiative. Sole purpose is to make Indian talent understand how to invent medical devices in healthcare. And All India Institute of Medical Sciences Delhi partnered with IIT Delhi and Stanford University in the US. And it's an interesting tripartite collaboration because Stanford University has been developing a lot of medical devices for the last 20-30 years. And they said, okay, we will partner with the Indian government. We will use the government funds and we will train. Very, very expensive course. Can you guess what is the cost the government was paying to train one person in this program? Back in 2012, almost one CR per fellow is the fee the Indian government would bear. So they could only have 4 people per batch per year. And Dr. Ravi Nair, my boss, he said, apply to this program. And in the year 2012, from the entire country, I was the, when I got selected in this program, I was the only doctor in the entire country who applied to this program. because nobody else applied to this program. I was the only applicant. Nobody knew about this program, including me. Only one person knew about it. It was my boss, who saw it in newspaper ad somewhere in the corner. And it's such a wonderful program, but nobody knew about it. And the people from Stanford like, do we have a better candidate? Is this the only guy we have here? Just this one doctor? And he's asking me my question, why is your email address hemoglobin84? I said, he means man, globin means protein, 84 date of birth. Hire this guy. They waitlisted me for a few months and then nobody else applied, so I got selected to this prestigious program with 3 other people. And the fundamental principle of this biodesign is that doctors should develop products with engineers and designers. Because invention or innovation is not a single department job. That's the problem. Here we isolate everything. Doctors are studying separately. Hey, engineer, don't come close by. Engineers are doing separately. Business is doing separate. Pharma is doing separate. Everyone is separate building, separate. There is no intermingling, right? Whereas when you go to any international university, you will find the university is like a village with different fields, all in one campus. You will have the law college, the MBA college, the engineering college, the business, the medical college, all in one same campus. And students are free to attend classes of anyone. You can take electives. And we sometimes have lawyers attending. He's like, I am studying about a case on certain body part. I want to attend the anatomy class. They can attend. If I want to attend a business class of something, I can go and attend. Right? So there's a lot of cross interaction. So they design the program in such a way that one doctor is there with an engineer, with a product designer and a scientist and a business graduate together. 4 people every year. We went to Stanford University. The program was designed, 6 months we are there, 6 months we have to come back to India and implement whatever we have learned. Now when I went to Stanford University, I had one big learning over there. I found out that the people at Stanford University who were teaching us how to invent medical devices were doctors from India with American accents. Raj Doshi, Uday Kumar, Anurag Mehral. I'm like, we crossed the entire world to come here, leaving our homes. At least give us some Andrew or Jessica, yaar. Like, what is this Doshi uncle? Raj Doshi, cardiologist, training us. I'm like, Dr. Raj, where did you do your MBBS from? He's like, Ghatkopar, Mumbai. I'm like, my medical college is better than yours. Why are we spending so much money and coming here and learning from you? And then, that's when we realize that there is this thing called this process that they follow. And this is what he told. He's like, Jagadish, when you come to Stanford University and you want to invent something, you got an idea. You can just walk over to the cafeteria and you can meet anyone. You can meet the product designer, a lawyer, business graduate. You can form a startup company. And then you can go take that company. We'll give you a sabbatical. You can take that company and you can go to the Bay Area where there are the venture capitalists who will invest in your company. And then we will take a small stake. Nothing I was able to understand that time. All of us went after that and drank for 5 minutes. Because it's like, this is such a realization, right? And the other thing is that they don't follow invention process like us. Like the ideation is like love, right? Get an idea and you solve, like I did with my product. It didn't go anywhere. They follow a different process. They follow a process of understanding the problem so much that there is nothing else left to understand the problem and the solution becomes obvious. What do they do in that? The doctor, engineer, designer, scientist have to observe. Just observe, nothing else. For 6 months, we were going to the hospital standing like this and observing. What are we observing for? Anything that goes wrong. Like today we had, Dr. Colonel was talking about quality, right? Things that go wrong. If a patient falls, do you report it, right? So if a patient falls, we are supposed to make a note of it. Oh, patient was trying to go to the washroom, fell down, right? And what was done? Or suppose anything that went wrong, somebody was supposed to get discharged quickly, did they stay for extra days? Did somebody who underwent surgery, did they bleed a little extra? Did they develop complications? Did someone die which could have been avoided? Everything that goes wrong, we were asked to document. And even in one of the most premier hospitals in the US, in Stanford School of Medicine, in 6 months, we had 700 unmet needs, individual unique issues that were there in that hospital. in that particular department. Then they take all of those 700 and start doing one filtering process, which occurs one-off, which occurs daily. Like again, doctor was telling, no, who is reporting does not know whether the patient fell only here, fell in another ward also, falls every day, falls every minute. We don't know that. But here we are able to know now because we are recording everything and we are then putting it to research. We are saying, okay, patient fall. How often is it? Oh, publications are there. This is a big issue. They come with a minor problem. They fall down, develop a limb fracture, and then they are here for embolism. All kinds of other things are also happening because of the fall. Similarly, like that, there are 700 problems. Each one you research and we give scoring, like grading. Okay, like we put a score on 6-7 parameters and then we filter it. Whichever need gets the high score, like our entrance exams, which need reaches the number 1 rank, any of those top 5 ranks, then you start thinking of the solution. That is the gist of the biodesign process. And when we came back to India, I realized I was doing something very fundamentally wrong with that invention. Do you know what I was doing wrong? Why that product did not take off in the market? Because I saw a problem in rural area and I took a solution from urban area. I took a digital camera and I took endoscope to solve the problem in rural village. Now you tell me, if you've ever been to a village hospital, do you see any doctor there who's doing an endoscopy? Do you think that the doctor there has the kind of qualification and training to do advanced endoscopy? They probably don't. But what is the solution I have created to solve for the rural area? I have made actual endoscope device, just connected it to a camera, assuming that an MBBS doctor will easily be able to do ear, nose, throat endoscopy. I am not able to see even through a mirror. How will that guy be able to do an endoscopy there? And that is a fundamental thing that gets missed out when you are just jumping to an idea. Because it's human instinct to jump into an idea. We don't think about the user. We don't think about the environment. We don't think about its durability. We don't think about the cost. We don't think about accessibility. We just think idea, macha, let us just take one nice digital camera and let's move to robotics and put AI to it. AI will, funding will come. You know, like that. But we don't think about how it's actually going to be used. And then I realized, okay, when I came back, we changed the invention. We changed it. We made it more skill for, you know, people who are not very trained. And then we made it like this. This is the same device, but now it does not have an endoscope. It has just like a small probe, like an otoscope probe. It is not causing any trauma. It's made of rubber. A 7th standard pass health worker can easily see the ear without causing any damage. And plus, there was some intelligence built into this. Some AI was built into it so that it can tell whether it is normal, abnormal. Just red, green. It doesn't have to tell the diagnosis. If it is red, the health worker will send to the doctor. If it is green, they will say nothing. We will review later on. When we made it this simple, within 6 months, a large medtech company called Medtronic bought over this, licensed out the technology. No patent also was granted for this. But they licensed out the technology and Medtronic started a program called HiiiH, which was a program meant to empower health workers like these girls. They're school students or school dropouts. They don't have any medical skill. But a device which is so simple to use and intelligent, they get additional job opportunities to now start screening village people, because village people have a lot of ENT issues. And I think with the 5 years that that program ran, they screened over 15 million patients and got jobs for, I think, over 1 lakh health workers by just changing the scope of the device and matching it to its requirement. And the moment that impact came, I was once at a conference, ENT conference, and a very enthusiastic salesperson came and said, "Are you ENT doctor?" I'm like, "Yes. Check out this wonderful product we have. HiiiH. You doctor, you must be struggling with other examinations." I'm like, "Yeah, I struggle with other examination. This is the solution." I'm like, "I know. Why? I made it." And and then she took a photo of me with my advanced version. I don't take credit for bringing it to this level. You need a much larger company with a lot of money and a lot of team size to do it. You saw what my product looked like, Shadi.com and reality, right? That is what an individual doctor with a salary can do. This is a large company. They're able to bring it. They have a sales force. The device looks much more sleeker with branding and all of that. This at least was called Entraview. I called it Yantrascope. That would have not made it anywhere. So this, and with all this, impact that this program created, I was recognized by MIT Technology Review, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as one of the 35 innovators under the age of 35 in 2016 for the impact on 15 million patients. And after that, I think I started getting some recognition, and we started understanding how this biodesign process works. And we ended up writing a book about it also, called Inventing Medical Devices, a Perspective from India. This is a very interesting book. It was only written because my boss said, Jagadish, you're still barking. Why don't you write about it? So I wrote one book to just give it to him and take one photograph with him. But this became a bestseller in medical technologies in a matter of 3 months. Because, thank you. Because this book does not have any successes at all. This has a story of 10 failures, 10 massive goof-ups that any inventor can make on their devices. And the reason why people like reading about failures is because they start feeling better about themselves. They're like, oh, this guy messed up like that, huh? So this book started becoming the book for people to read so that they don't do these things. It is not about what we should do. This book tells you what you should not do when you are trying to invent something. And I realized that there is a lot of money in failures. I don't know why we try not to fail. 10 failures already got so much of royalty. I was like, okay, this is great. I wrote another book called Benefits of Failing Successfully. That did even better. All my failures now look like gold mine to me. Because that book is now popular in school children, because school children, people are very, very stressed nowadays. Students are stressed. I have to get 100%, But without failing, you cannot improve. And that book talks about how failure makes you an entrepreneur. And parents sometimes, want to share that with their kids. So failures have actually gotten quite a lot of success. Now, I don't know whether failing is successful or failing. So I called it Benefits of Failing Successfully. And after that, I went on to develop multiple products. I've actually been involved with about 23 innovations so far, and about 11 of them are patent granted, and 9 of them are in the market and commercial at the moment. And these are some of them. This is a device that removes foreign bodies from the nose of children. Children put some peanut or something like that. Again, there is a big skill issue. Every time there's a skill mismatch, there is a scope for innovation, because the problem requires a higher skill, but the patient is going to a place not at that skill. There you have a very nice scope for making a less skill intensive device like this. With this device, you just pass it in the nose, press one button, the foreign body will come out. As simple as that, right? And many doctors are using it in rural areas. These are balloons. They are used to, like how we do angioplasty. If somebody's heart has a block, you take a balloon and dilate it. But for our sinuses, we cut open all the bones. We make one big door. You have a nice sized door. What if that door was 10 times the size? Would it look good? It will cause issues. Sometimes when we are doing surgery, we make a much bigger hole of the sinus that causes more dryness, more crusting. With this balloon, you pass it inside the sinus and dilate it. It's a newer way because people don't want to go to advanced surgeries. Everything is becoming minimally invasive. So this is balloon sinoplasty, tuboplasty. And then this is an interesting story when I come to quality. You must be thinking, what does all of this have to do with quality? By the time pandemic struck, Medtronic had to shut down the HiiiH program because of issues related to cost. Because when they tried to make it low skilled, the device became very expensive. 85,000 rupees for somebody to procure that device. For me as an inventor, I was like, okay, it reached a particular distance, but it did not sustain. And sustainability is a very important thing. You have to have every parameter marked. When the pandemic hit, I faced another challenge. Now patients are coming on video. Sir, I have COVID, I have throat pain, I'm not able to swallow. My ear is blocked, nose is blocked. My medicine friends are doing well. They see the face, they ask for reports, they're still able to treat. But I'm an ENT surgeon. If I don't see inside the ear, nose and throat, what do we do? Now the same problem is presented in a different scenario. First, I did not have the skills to see the throat properly. Now I cannot be in front of the patient to see the ear, nose and throat. So what do we do? So we quickly thought, okay, there are a lot of patients reaching out and COVID pandemic, we are COVID warriors, we have to do something. So we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We looked online for easily available cameras. And see, by COVID, when I was inventing was 2009. In 10 years, technology advanced with CMOS LED sensors and cameras coming into position. And we found a lot of these Chinese products for 1,000, 2,000 rupees. They're called wax removal devices. Ear wax removal devices available on Amazon if you search them. You just put the camera inside, it has a scoop, you can scoop out your wax. So I was like, why do we don't have to do the invention again. We just bought 500 of these and started posting it by speed post to patients' houses. And told, you put this in your ear, nose and throat, send me the image, we will treat you from here. Because that's what you can do in the pandemic. If you have to, some way you have to treat. But that was a big mistake because of quality. In fact, 4 of our patients developed burns in their ear canal because these are very low cost products. They are not designed for diagnosis. They are not medical devices. They are not designed for treatment. They are designed to only remove wax, maybe once in a month, twice a year. And they did not have the correct filters. Like if you use any of these devices, it will show very red or green or blue. Purpose is because you have to delineate between the wax and the skin, that's all, and scoop it out. But there is no insulation system, there is no heat management system, there is no durability. There are thousands and thousands of reviews of people saying that this device conks off in a matter of minutes, it burns, it causes that. But because it is 1,500 to 2,000 rupees, nobody cares about it because any consumer court litigation is going to be 10 times, 100 times more expensive, they let it go. But for us, we were almost going to get into a medical legal issue. If some patient develops some serious injury and we are advocating such a device, it will become a particular problem. But then we thought, why not redevelop the same device with better quality standards, you know, with your ISO 13485, with your electronic standards, with all of that, because there is a lot of scope and higher quality CMOS cameras that are available. And then we went on to develop this particular product called HiiiH. And this product gives me 2 learnings. This product is essentially a CMOS LED, very similar to the other Chinese products out there. In fact, the cameras still do come from Taiwan because we have to get it at a particular cost and quality. Rest of it is assembled and manufactured in different parts of India, following the Indian regulatory protocols. But can you imagine somebody getting a patent for this? Because what is unique about it? They're already existing. There are so many CMOS LED cameras. Within 7 months of filing, we were granted a patent on this device. Just with a matter of 7 months. I have never seen the Indian Patent Office give a granted patent so quickly. Because that same year I received a patent for something I filed 13 years ago. And that same year I received a patent for something we filed 7 months ago. But what was so unique about it? What we ended up doing with this device, this is a device that connects to your phone wirelessly and shows you the images, just like any other product, nothing unique about it. But what we did is these simple attachments. You see these 7 attachments? Every attachment you put, you can see the new part of the body. So if you remove one, like a Lego set, if you remove one and put another, you can pass it in nose. If you remove it, you can pass it in throat. If you add something, you can pass it in the ear. If you put another version, you can pass it in the vagina to look at the cervix for cervical cancer screening. You put another attachment, you can pass it in the rectum for hemorrhoid screening. So the uniqueness was taking a single probe of camera and giving it multiple size attachments and making it enabled into multiple orifice screening device. That is what the patent office found non-obvious, novel, and unique with industrial applicability, and the patent was granted. So many of us do not file patents thinking that, hey, what is so special about this? This is no rocket science. It is just simple thing. But when your applicability is unique, it is not obvious to the community, you can still get a patent. And now this product is in 5 countries, including the Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, all of these places. And now people are able to do remote screening for cancer as well as ear, nose, throat, dental, also gone into veterinary space. Apparently cancers of the nose and oral cavity are very high amongst canines and dogs. Sheikhs in the Middle East are very worried about their camels' health. and their horses' health. These are used for examining the fertility of horses apparently, which I never even thought was something that we had invented for. So there are all kinds of use case scenarios. At the end of the day, it's just a video camera, but when you use it for various applications with the quality, because it has a unique way to insulate. There are different materials. This is an alloy which can be autoclaved, which is very important. Autoclave is you can boil and you can sterilize it. You can reuse these attachments. There are certain silicon and certain proprietary alloys that we have used. A lot of quality management has been done to improve safety for this particular device. And this is the kind of image that we are able to see. This image is of a patient who has been in an aircraft which had a bad landing. Sometimes the aircraft descends and you start feeling your ear is blocked, and then you do all sorts of nonsense like this, thinking that the problem is from the outside. The problem is from the nose. Cabin pressure is dropping. There is a pipe between the nose and the ear called eustachian tube that is not opening and closing. So you're feeling pain because the eardrum is getting pulled to a point that it ruptures. And one of the airports, the medical authorities there were using our product. And the patient, this is right after barotrauma as we call it, patient landed and now stops hearing and goes immediately to the airport authorities. Their doctor takes his device. They send us this image. And this is the first time in my life I have seen such a fresh and recent rupture. By the time this patient would have reached an ENT like me, it would have become a hole the size of at least 1 or 2 millimeters. Because they would have thought, oh, it's just some injury, then somebody will give some cold medications, and somebody will do something else, do some steam inhalation and move like this, like this, like this, something or the other. By the time it'll start discharging, it'll get infected, then they will come, and we won't know whether it was barotrauma, whether it was infection, we won't know that, right? But this is as recent as it gets, within 30 minutes of the injury. We get to see the drum. We were able to immediately tell what needs to be done, and this patient's eardrum completely healed in the matter of a month. And there's so many other things. You can see this little ant. This ant has caused this damage. This is a patient in a village who has diabetes. And this is a medical doctor who's running a small government healthcare center. Sends us the image. So what we do is, see, we don't expect these doctors in these peripheries to have the endoscopy knowledge of what these findings look like. So we have a team of doctors. We keep getting these images, hundreds of them every day. But we're able to remotely tell them, oh, that is a injury caused by this. That is a child with an adenoid at the back of the nose. That's why he's having ear pain. That is there's a child with fluid in the middle ear. We're able to see all of that and give them very accurate diagnosis, management, and if they need surgery, me and my team flies down there, finds a hospital nearby and operates on them. So my practice is virtually decentralized. I actually don't sit in any one place. Even while I was here or while I was sitting at the back, I saw a few patients. My team keeps seeing them all the time. So we just get, because for us it's mathematics. You see this hole, what are you going to think about? Are you confused what the problem is? No, it's very visual. There is a hole in the drum, it's bleeding. I don't have to think about, is it correct diagnosis, wrong diagnosis. This is very straightforward in ENT. You have certain structures, the structures are damaged. And that is how now impact can be created by using such devices with superior quality, but still keeping the cost affordable. So today, even if I am here, I have this device just in my pocket as if it doesn't exist. I can see anybody's ears right now, nose, throat. If you want me to do a surgery, I can do a surgery as well, just with this in my hand. I don't need anything else. And that's how quality and innovation, even this is the same idea, but this is a third version of the same idea, which I find interesting. Started with a digital camera, then ended up with a software solution, and then came back into a pocket CMOS LED camera. The need keeps changing. The solution needs to keep being reinvented. And things have to keep improving as per quality. If you find talks boring, the same story you can watch on social media. On Jio Cinemas, there's a web series called Starting Troubles, where I myself am acting, but I'm with some Bollywood actors like Renuka Shani and all of that, showing the same story of innovation, but in a more interactive way for youngsters to engage. So do give it a look. But with that, thank you very much. Thank you. If anybody is interested to know more about this device or any other technology, I work in a model where I am just present as the innovator and providing clinical inputs, but there are different startups with different teams who work on these technologies. So Gaurav is our central coordinator. So if you want to know about any of the technologies or this current technology, he will be able to share more information with you. But with that, thank you very much, sir, and everyone for having me here and this opportunity. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Oh, there's a question.
Hi,
Yes.
I am Dr. Prasanna from Coimbatore.
Yes, sir.
I am very glad to see you as an inventor actually.
Thank you, sir.
So my heartiest congratulations for your entire team.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how I take my life is you told failures, no? This is not failure, this is an exact success what everybody wants.
Yes, thank you.
And I treat failure as first attempt in learning,
Yes,
as Dr. Abdul Kalam said.
Absolutely.
And my heartfelt congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Any other questions, comments? I won't make fun of you. Don't worry. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.